Hello everyone. Thank you all so very much for helping me reach this 10k. I really do appreciate it. As I promised in my thank you video, I would love to show you how to make this elegant skirt. So let's get right into it. 2 years of fabric can help you achieve what we're going to be working on today, but if you want yours to be a little bit longer, you can go in for 3 yards. So these are the things I use. I use my lining, I use the soft net. Yes, this is what I use, and this is how I went about it. I opened the fabric and then I actually folded them. So kindly do look at it and how it was folded so that you can really understand this type of flare cotton, right? This is how the fold was done. Can you get it? Yes, this was how the fold was done. It looked like a cone. It just wasn't really like a 360. This was actually 180 flare. So this was how I folded it to achieve the 180 flare. I hope you get it right. I hope you're getting it. This is how it was all folded. I'm just making sure I take a little longer here so that you can really understand it, because like this was actually the main ingredient. This was what actually helped me achieve that flow at the downside of it. So I would love for you to also get the concept properly so that you can also apply it perfectly without any inoccurrences. So this was it. I actually folded it into this section, which actually helped me to achieve that 180 flare measurement. Okay, so I ironed it out to make sure that it was lying flat and beautiful. So that is why you see me using the iron to get things straightened up. It is perfect for you to be ironing most of your processes. It really helps you to achieve like the best results. It helps you get the best results. Ironing is key when it comes to sewing, and I would forever recommend that to be part of your must-do things. So here I was trying to get my waist. I have a waist of 30, so I was trying my best to get with waist. So I measured it out to make sure to get the 30 inches right. So 30 inches divided by 4 is like 7.5. That is what I actually did with the first one to get the length before I actually started at the tip to make sure that I get it. So after I was done marking it out, I placed it there to recheck it, and yes, I was getting the 30 with sewing allowance. I wanted my length of the actual skirt to be 28, which is my midi length. So that is what you see me doing, and it was the curve that I used. I mean, the waist measurement at the tip is what I'm actually using to actually achieve the down section, if you could get it right. Yes, so that is it. I'm cutting it out, and yes, you don't necessarily have to add like that much of sewing allowances, because like flares are in bias and definitely they're going to stretch out, so you don't necessarily have to add extra inches for like zip allowance. Just an inch zip allowance will be fine. So here, this was how it was looking at. It was looking like, right, this is actually 180 flare, so the down section wouldn't be that much like, you know, curvier, but you can still find out it kind of looked like an A shape, kinda, but it's really not an A shape. This is 180 flare. If it were to be 360, you would have seen that more of the curves there, but due to the softness and the picture I showed, I had to do the 180 in order to achieve what I had to achieve. So here it was me getting the waistband, and yes, that was my measurement for the waistband, and the width of the waistband I used, that is it. So that is my measurement. It's supposed to be 30, which is 15. I added a couple of allowances to it with a waistband. I had like 3 inches or 4 inches allowance to it, which was more. At the end of the day, I cut it off. So you can actually make yours smaller if you want to, but I use 5 inches with a width, so that when I stiff it and fold it into 2 and sew it, it would be left with like 2 inches, right? It would be folded. So this 5 inches will be folded, so the results would be like 2.5 inches, right? So here I was also cutting my pocket. I place my hands down like that, and then I go around it to cut the pocket. If there is anything you would love for me to handle separately, kindly do comment in the comment section so that I get to know what you would love to know separately, and then I will handle that for you. And here's my online classes. Sewing classes are still open. You can send me a message on WhatsApp. The link will be in the description. Kindly do send me a message so that we can start with your classes. So here, this is the waistband. It had been stiff with a hat stiff, the non-woven stiff. Yeah, so like, okay, I think Nigeria is also called stay, so this is the hat stay. Yes, but here in Ghana it is also known as stiff. So this is a stiff, the non-woven one. This is a very hard stiff, the non-woven one. So I actually always find midpoints to midpoints when it comes to my project. So I found a midpoint to the actual frailer, and then I found a midpoint to the waistband, and then I make sure that I pin the two together, midpoint to midpoint, before I sewed it up. So when that happens, you know for sure that I'm gonna get it like the exact same thing at each end. So the ones I'm going to be cutting off will be like the same measurements. I don't necessarily have to start from the end and then cut it. No, I actually work around with my midpoints. I just get my midpoints and then I do that. So here you see me actually attaching the band to the flare. And that is what you see me doing here. I hope you're enjoying this video, and I would love for once again to say thank you all very much for helping me reach 10K. Please don't forget to send me a message on WhatsApp if you are interested in having like one-on-one online classes with me. I will be so excited for that. And yes, don't forget to watch these adverts that pops up when you're watching these videos, because it does really help the channel, especially when it comes to the monetary aspect of it. Kindly do watch them for me. Yes, so this is it after it had been attached together. This was how it was looking, right? I tried it on, and yes, that is it. That's my packet inside it. I have packet. Ooh, get packets. Yes, so here in this section, I was trying to gonna mark it out. I was here in this section, I was going to be marking out how I would love for my soft knit to be. Remember the picture? It had this wavy effect. That is what I'm trying to achieve here. Funny enough, or luckily for me, my fabric actually had that patterns in it, made it very easier for me to go about it. But if yours doesn't, you actually try and use a measurement of 5 by 10, right? So this higher one will be like 5 inches from your waist to the section will be like 5 inches, whilst the lowest one will be like 10 inches, right? So you move around with that measurement and you're still going to achieve that wavy effect. So this is how I transfer my informations. Since I had already marked them out, I just tend them to mark it at the back, as you can see, and then I drew the lines to connect it, as you can see me doing here. So after I opened it up, it had been connected and it was just duplicating each other, right? And this is a soft net. I used 2 yards of the soft net, or it is also called body net in some other countries and regions. So you can actually also make it known as body net or soft net. You get it. But yes, I will be leaving the list of the materials I used to achieve this in the description. Don't forget to check them out, as well as my other social media handles. Let's get connected on the other platforms. Yes, so here I folded the soft net into 2. There was no cuts. I just didn't do any cuts. So I just folded it into 2, like the width section. Yeah, and then I just folded them and started with the gathering. So when I was doing the gathering, I used my hand to do these free sketches on were actually done the sketches already. So I just sometimes it's so irritating when you know for sure like something is sewing and you check it and you realize that it wasn't sewing. That was what happened like in a few seconds. So I actually did gathers at where the midpoint was. I always say I found the midpoints of the softness and found the midpoints of the fabric, and then I started from there. So here is also the other section. Since I've already done the half of it, the other half had to be shared evenly for it to be completed. So that is the reason why I enjoy getting midpoints of projects, so that I can just wobble my way around it and still achieve a perfect result. So here in this section, it was time for me to attach the lining. I got a yard of lining, separated it into two, and then joined it to have that width that I wanted. But you can also go in for 2 yards and then cut it to the length you want it to be. Yeah, but I just wanted to save a lot of fabric, so I go in by just a yard, cut it into two, and then join it up so that I can get the length that I would want. Here, as you can see here, I was doing pleating it. I didn't really cut it in a flare shape, it wasn't really necessary for that. So that is it. When I deal with flare, gathers, pleats, I just don't, cut them and stuff like that. I just make sure that it just falls in like as in the pleats. If it is flare, I'm gonna do pleats inside it. If it is box pleats, still pleats. If it is like just gathers, then lining that's going to cover up the mess would also be in pleats. Like that is how I go about mine. So at the end of the day, this was how the inside was looking. That was how the outside was looking. So this is how the outside looked, and this is how the inside looked. How do you see this? Can you get it? Yeah, that's the vibe. So this is how the whole project was looking like after the whole thing were pleated on. And yes, the packets were inside. You need to get packets for flare dresses so that you can get a place to put your phones or the earpiece and stuff so that you don't lose them. Yes, so here in this section 2, I was about installing my zip. I changed the foot of the zip. I changed the foot of the machine to a zipper foot so that I can just make it, install it easily and then very fast. Yes, so that is me doing it. I changed it and I sewed the zip on it, as you can see. I hope you are enjoying this video. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for amazing videos. How I see you guys resonating towards these sewing videos would really motivate me to continue with these sewing tutorials. And yes, I just would like to say a very big thank you all for your subscription. And yes, I really do appreciate you all. It really does mean a lot to me to hit this milestone. And yes, I can't wait to hit that 100K. Let's do it, family. Share this with your friends and family and colleagues that find us entertaining or interesting, right? Kindly do share it out, and I will be extremely happy to get that notification. Congratulations, you reached 100. I can't wait for that. Yes, so here the zip was installed. After the zip was installed, I had to, stabilize the back of it. So I'm sewing on it to make sure that they are lying flat and beautiful, cutting off threads. So this is how the inside look, right? I had to align the bottom of the zip so that I could sew it and completely close it up to the fabric. I really didn't sew the soft net, so I was just sewing just the fabric, right? So here, that is what I was doing, sewing up to the fabric and not the soft net. You can decide to also sew yours to like the soft net, but at the end of the day, it's gonna give the same effect, so there's no need for me to do that. So here, this is how it was looking like after the zip was installed. Can you see how it just aligned? Yeah, that was what I was trying to let you get. But if yours doesn't, try to make sure that it does the next time, or there's no harm in getting a swim repair to rip it out and make sure it aligns. So this is the project. Kindly comment below where you would take this skirt to. I think I'm going to take this to church. I would upload it in the community section when I wear it, but I really think I'm going to take this to church. Where would you take this to? And if you saw this, kindly do tag me, whether in Instagram or TikTok, wherever social platform you are. Kindly do tag me as Serena Cares Collections so that I can take a look at your final project and get you featured on the community. Thank you all very much for watching till this section. Don't forget to click on the link to watch another video. XOXO, stay safe.